Hey everyone, it's a bright and beautiful morning today. Had a good sleep last night. My son didn't wake up in the middle of the night, so that's good for me and my wife. Yeah, nothing beats a good night's sleep. Okay, so today I actually wanted to talk about a situation that happened yesterday. Basically, it's the key thing is about the how you should always put your best work out. Okay, so I'm gonna give you two scenarios that happened to me yesterday. First, in the morning, I basically got my intern to assist me to actually attend a quite important webinar that talks about a topic about the industry that I'm currently in. I'm in the travel and tourism sector. So the webinar was about return of experience, or in short is ROX, rocks. But I'll leave that for another day. So I actually got my intern who was fairly new towards the career, towards the business world. Hence he told me that he was afraid that there's a lot of terms or jargons that he may not understand. And I told him, don't worry about it, just go in there, act like a sponge, just absorb and see, pick up whatever that you can pick up from the webinar, and then share it with me right after. So alright, he went and he attended. Okay, after he attended, and then after I finished my meeting, I sat down with him. Not really sat down, sorry, I had a call with him. I basically, because he's working from home, so I just gave him a call and then I spoke to him. And then he was explaining to me. And while he was explaining to me, he actually gave me examples which were not mentioned by the speakers in the webinar. So he was citing examples that could relate back to our sector, the business that we're in, the travel and tourism, right? So he didn't just absorb, but he absorbed, he processed, and he related it back to what business we were doing. And that I thought was something that I didn't expect. In a way, he actually over-delivered, because I only expected for him to just have like a bunch of notes and just share those notes with me without any kind of processing or relating it back to our business. Okay, that's scenario number one. Scenario number two, I have a team member of mine where she has been handling social media, my social media, me and my company, the company which we are working at. I guess she has been handling it for about a year, 2 years right now. And basically she has performed very well, and she has always also exceeded the expectations. So one thing happened yesterday where we had a post on our social media, right, on Facebook and also Instagram. On Instagram, if you didn't know, if you were to post something up and you were to put a link in the caption, it will not be clickable, right? So when I went into Instagram yesterday at night, I saw that post, and I saw that, hey, why there's actually a link, a bit.ly link at the caption? Because it's not clickable, and we all know that Instagram doesn't allow that. So I I immediately screenshot and then I just shared inside our chat group and asked, why did we still do a mistake like that? And I think quite quickly she responded and said she posted because she didn't want to miss the posting time, the optimal posting time. And then I think, and I thought, what could have prevented this? I mean, what was her thought process? I mean, I will speak to her later because I didn't get to speak to her last night. So I kind of had my own thought process and tried to think of why did it happen. Because from my experience, I've been taught to always double check, triple check, and even sometimes check 4 times or more, depending on how important the work is, before actually putting out to the world. Because every single work that you put out into the world is a representation of you. How good you are, how detailed you are, how meticulous you are, is all being translated to everything that you do, every work that you put out there. And when you have a mistake like this, which is a fairly, to me it's like a newbie mistake, right? That someone who have at least done it for 6 months to a year wouldn't have done this, because it's such a small thing that you need to take care of when you post on Instagram. So that goes back to the topic, as in, when you're pressed for time, will you compromise the quality of your work just to meet the timeline? What would you do? Okay, I faced times when it's urgent and it's critical, and yeah, I agree that in the past when I faced those situations, there were times when the work weren't up to my standards and weren't up to my expectations, but I had to publish it anyway. And each time I do that, it came back to me after that. So it bit me in the ass after the whole thing. So I realized that putting out quality work is way important than meeting that urgency, because sometimes what seems urgent is really not urgent at all. I'm sure you probably have heard of bosses, or you have your own boss that wants everything yesterday. But if you really think it through and ask yourself, does it matter if this post goes out at 8 p.m. or 8:15 or 8:30 p.m.? Does that 15 or 30 minutes matter? Most of the time, it doesn't matter. What matters most is the quality of your work and the amount of effort that you're putting in, the amount of heart that you're actually putting into your work. I think that is something that people will notice when people look at it. So, it's a very important question, because on one hand, remember scenario A, I spoke about my intern who actually did something additional, did something extra, which was not what I expected. And scenario B was that that mistake was something that based on the amount of experience probably shouldn't have done it. And I found that even personally for me in my career, I've learned that when you always over deliver, means you always do additional things, always think it through, and always ask yourself, like, why is my boss asking for this? Right? Why what's the real intention behind them asking for this? It's not just like, probably, let's say for example, if your boss were to ask you to come up with perhaps a chart or a table data of some sort, then someone who doesn't think it through will basically extract the data, put it into a table, and then just send over to the boss. Whereas someone who's used to over delivering, they're actually like, oh, okay, I think my boss wants this chart and analysis because they want to understand the pattern. They want to know why the customer behaves like that. And then the person who wants to over deliver will usually, they will actually include comments, include recommendations, even highlighting certain data which is important. So I realized that there's many people out there who don't over deliver, and I can vouch that over delivering has got me to where I am today. Yeah, I mean, there are many more people who are more successful than me. Just that if I were to compare myself with how I was maybe 5-10 years ago, after I learned about this over delivering principle and putting your best work out all the time, that's where it changed for me. It helped me to grow much faster. It helped me to get promoted faster. It helped me to get a better salary faster. It helped me to get a much better bonus compared to how it was previously. So it has worked for me, and I'm just sharing with you my experience and my example so that you will be able to take it and potentially use it in your career, use it in your business, wherever it is. As long as you just take the principle in mind, over deliver, and always put your best foot forward. Alright, so that's all I have today. I'm about to reach my office. I hope that you all have a great day today. It's a Friday here. As always, TGIF. And thank you, and I'll see you in the next episode. If you like it, subscribe, like it, share it, subscribe. Alright? And do leave your comments whether you think that you have any topics with regards to, career or personal growth that you would like to hear. Alright, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next episode.